Hello there, my fellow gamers. The year is almost over, and with Indiana Jones: The Great Circle, the folks from Machine Games delivered one of the last AAA titles for 2024 to have you covered for the upcoming holiday season. We had the chance to try the game early, and alongside our more in-depth gameplay review on the website, I did some initial testing with a few selected notebooks so you get an early idea what to expect from your very own hardware once the game is fully released. And in addition to our more factual findings, I'll also give you a brief glimpse into what the game delivers in terms of visuals and of course how it feels to walk in the footsteps of one of the big screen's greatest adventurers. Keep in mind that we did our testing with a press version, so there might be some changes and updates when the game is available for you guys. Path tracing, for example, will apparently only be available with the Game Ready driver from Nvidia, which will either be out already when you watch this video or shortly thereafter. That's quite unfortunate, since I would have loved to test it already, but well, what can you do? In combination with path tracing, ray reconstruction will also find its way into Indy's latest adventure at a later time. If you guys want us to do some additional testing once everything is final, please let me know in the comments and we will see what we can do. But enough with the formalities, let's get into it. I did most of my testing and my playthrough with a mobile 4090 Indy Zephyrus Duo 16, alongside AMD's monster of a laptop chip, the 16-core Ryzen 9 7945HX. And well, it shouldn't be a surprise, but with so many games in the past year or so even struggling to run smoothly on high-end hardware, the game was running without hitch, crash or problem at all. And while you will get the best results with DLSS and FrameGen enabled, you actually wouldn't need to use Nvidia's AI helpers in this case, at least not in the Duo's native QHD+ resolution. 4K is also not really a problem, and if you own a high-end laptop or a desktop sporting a 4070 Ti or better, you are in for a smooth ride. Of course, we will have to wait and see how that changes once path tracing is available, but for now you can simply turn everything to 11 and be done with your performance tuning. Unfortunately, the story changes drastically once you enter the mid-range mobile GPU landscape. I did a few runs at different setting levels on the Lenovo ThinkBook Plus, and the RTX 4060 in combination with the i9 14900HX are really struggling to push frame rates beyond the 60 FPS mark in Full HD. At least in the game's first bigger hub area, which takes you to Vatican City. Playing around with different settings also does not really improve FPS numbers here, while you will get a solid boost dropping things to high or medium settings in less busy areas like our benchmark run. I would assume that the big area with lots of NPCs really asks for quite some CPU grunt in addition to a fast GPU. And as with most recent AAA titles, video memory might also be the main limitation with our current generation of mid-range cards. For some reason, DLSS and FrameGen also gave me some very weird results, but I'm pretty sure that this will be fixed with the latest Nvidia driver. So sometimes opting for DLSS will give you a few more FPS in its quality setting, while on most occasions it simply cuts everything in half. And frame generation isn't doing much better, which is quite weird since it worked so well on the 4090. But the technical part aside, how does the game play? I must admit I'm hooked, but I'm also fortunate enough to have high-end hardware at my disposal, so I really understand the frustration with recent games only delivering a smooth gameplay experience for a select group of gamers. But if you have the hardware to run the game properly, you are in for a wild mix of story-driven action like Uncharted, but in first-person view with stealth elements, well-designed locations, impressive visuals and additional side quests and mysteries to find at every corner. I was initially quite skeptical about the game's camera perspective, but it actually works quite well, and The Great Circle has been a very immersive experience right from the start. It is kind of a slow game, at least for the parts I have seen so far, and Indy feels very human when he moves around the world in 1937. The story is also quite intriguing, at least in the first few hours I have played, and it really pays tribute to the first films with a fun, sometimes serious, sometimes dramatic, but overall very entertaining setup. That said, the AI isn't insanely clever and there's still the underlying performance situation. But let's see what happens when the game is out and what new drivers and patches can do before you guys can start playing. If you want to get more info about the game itself, please be sure to check out our written article on the website. I have linked it in the description below. But that should already be it for today. Please let me know what you think about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I definitely had a blast so far, but of course I would like to hear your opinion. Sound off in the comments below and let us know if you want to see more about the game. For everything else about games and laptops, feel free to check out our latest videos right here on the channel. Leave your like and sub. Thanks for watching, and I cannot wait to see you all in the next one. Take care.